This is the Hog Hilton activity. Here's what you'll need to get this done. You'll need a whiteboard or a desktop that the students can draw on. They could also draw on top of a black laptop if you got those cool neon markers. A+ College Ready supplies you with already cut out cute little pigs and an instruction sheet like so. I start the kids off in groups of 2 or 3, and I tell them your job is to, 1, look at the Hog Hilton instruction sheet and read the rules, and 2, draw the Hog Hilton hotel however they want to. So they can go long ways like this. They also could turn the board sideways. The only importance is, according to the diagram on the page, the first floor has to have 1 room. Mine does. The second floor has to have 1 room. Mine does. And the third floor should have 3 rooms, fourth floor 1, so on and so on and so on. Now they can decorate it however they want to. If you'll notice, my lovely daughter was able to decorate it with a pool and a huge slide going down the side. Let them be as creative as they want to. The only trick is that 2 hogs have to fit into each room. Now the 2 hogs can fit in this way. That's one possibility. Or the 2 hogs could fit in this way, and the rooms could be wider like that, however your kids want to do it. But they do have to be big enough for 2 hogs to be in the room. So I've told the kids, draw your hotel. I've told the kids, read the directions, and that everybody in the group has to understand it. I walk around checking to make sure that everybody's is working, and then I give them the first sample problem. How would you put 15 hogs into their rooms? Now it's not important that you always do 15 hogs. You can just make up a number. But the goal of this is not to just have them put hogs in a hotel. The goal is to understand how to apply a set of rules to distribution of hogs. We're going to tie this back to, where do electrons go in an atom? What energy level? What sublevel? What orbital, and do they spin up or down? Right now, we're just trying to get the kids to see that they can group things according to a set of rules. So 15 hogs. Usually what the kids will do is they'll put 15 hogs in there. We'll go ahead and make believe that this is 15 hogs. And I've told them, call me over when you think you're done. And they call me over, hey, I'm done. And I'm like, no. Go back and read the directions. So the directions say they're very, very lazy and they want the best accommodations possible without having to climb steps. And that they can't stand each other unless rule number 1 forces them to put up with each other. And then each room can only have 2 hogs. So very, very quickly, the kids will learn to put 2 hogs in a room. And they'll call me over. And they'll say, is this right? Finally got my 15 hogs out. The kids would ask, is it okay? I'd go, no, read the directions again. The goal is not to frustrate them. The goal is what we call productive struggle. They ask a question, before we jump in and save them with the answer, we want the kids to feel comfortable finding their own answer, to meet a little bit of, I can't do it, and let's work together to do it. Now you may have some kids that need a lot of help, and you may have some kids that get it right away. But the goal is to get the kids to do the learning, to make sure that you're the least important person in the room, and the kids are responsible for their own learning. So I would say no to this answer. They would then read that they have to face opposite directions. So the kid would flip some of them upside down, and as soon as I flipped them upside down, they think they got me. They thought, aha, Mr. Elegante, now we got it. Is this the right answer? And I would say, very, very close. I'm still letting them know they're doing okay, but I would say, look at the top floor and read your directions one more time. There's something off with that top floor. Now again, you may have kids that need more help. So you might say, all right, well, let's try this. Is that any better than what you had before? And in truth, the rule says that hogs can't stand each other except when rule number 1 applies. So the idea here is each pig could get its own room, and when each pig gets its own room, they're not having to climb stairs. So for 15 hogs, this is the best confirmation. I always try to ask 3 questions. I say, what is your highest occupied floor? And they would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th floor, Mr. Elegante. And then I would say, how many hogs would it take to give you a completely filled topmost occupied floor? And they could say, oh, I could either gain 3 pigs and that would give me that floor filled, or I could take these 3 pigs away and then that would be my highest occupied floor. Both answers are valid. And then I can also ask, how many unpaired pigs are there? And how many unpaired pigs? There's 3. And notice that right away they start to see, the only one I have to worry about with unpaired pigs is that topmost floor, just like with electrons. And then you go through and you hand them out other numbers of hogs. So you can say, hey, here's 25 hogs, here's 23 hogs. And the goal is to get the kids to get fast at it before you get into the actual application of Hund's rule, Aufbau's rule, and the Pauli exclusion principle describing where electrons go. The kids leave with a sense of how rules can apply. The kids leave with a sense that electrons have to fill from the lowest floor to the highest floor. And the kids also leave with the idea that you can have a room with just 1 hog in it, or you can have a room with 2 hogs in it. But if there are 2 hogs in a room, that they face different directions. This understanding of where the electrons are, how many it would take to fill it, and how many it could take to lose it to give you a topmost floor that's full, will help the kids when they're going about, what is the charge of this ion when it gains or loses electrons? Would a given element be more likely or less likely to lose electrons, and why? And once the kids start to see that relationship, then when they get to things like periodic trends, the kids can start to have a deep conversation about why do certain things behave the way they do, why is one's electronegativity different than another's, all based on their understanding of electron configurations.